What's going on YouTube? This is Mark from Rap Ranks 1 back again with another video. Uh, and this time, like I've been saying, I'm going to get to ranking Eminem and I'm going to get to what I thought about Eminem before I did this and like my new favorite songs of his and like what I think now. So like my preconceived notions of Eminem, he was one of the first artists that I started listening to when I started listening to hip hop. Maybe around the eighth grade. And you know what I usually do when I go back and listen to artists, maybe that were around when I was younger, or even some artists before I was born. I kind of take maybe the top 10, 20 songs and listen to them. So that's probably what I did with Eminem. So I never really listened to, at least for his older songs. Yeah, so the Marshall Mathers LP was amazing. The consistency and everything that was on that album was ridiculous. And yeah, before I did the reactions and everything like that, Eminem, I didn't know he's such a controversial figure. I never realized that at that time, what Eminem meant and what being a fan of Eminem meant and all the criticism he was getting from that was crazy to me, because I went line by line, read everything, did a lot of research, and all of the songs from the album and the songs I did before. And man, it was like that's something that I never knew. So that was definitely cool. And like I said before, the consistency on this album was amazing. There's not one song, even the songs that reactions I did separately from the album. There's not one song I didn't like at all. They were all really good songs. His overall message for the album was good. I'll get into my top 10 songs from everything I've reacted to so far. So my top five are When I'm Gone, Stan, The Real Slim Shady, Lose Yourself, and The Way I Am. And then other songs that kind of differentiated themselves from the regular pack, which was amazing anyway. Like every other song was amazing, but if I had to condense it, I'd say Sing for the Moment, Criminal, Under the Influence, Haley's song, and Bitch Please too. So just because that song had Dr. Dre, Exhibit, and a lot of crazy artists, so I didn't feel right leaving that one off the list. Other songs that stood out as well: Amityville, Remember Me, Kim, and I'm Back. Amityville for me it was really cool how he was comparing Detroit to Amityville. I liked the whole vibe of the song. That was really catchy, something you sing along to. Remember Me, I just love this Sticky Fingers and RBX. I love what they brought. They brought like a different sound to the album that I really liked. I really liked that. And I'm Back was just like I really like, Shady's back. Yes, like it was really good. Positive, like for some Shady, it was like a positive feeling to that song that I liked. And Kim was artistically, it was different. It was different. It was a different song. It's not something that I would jam to. So it wasn't really my favorite song, but it had elements that were really unique and really cool. Some stuff that I've never heard before. I'm happy I got the chance to listen to it. Man, but it was shot. I was not expecting that. Like, hey, man, you guys said some funny stuff down in the comments too. Man, I was not expecting to be hit with Kim. Like, man, that song had some parts that were ridiculous. Like, but I have Justin's top five here as well. So Justin's top five were The Real Slim Shady, The Way I Am, Kim, Under the Influence, and Stan. So. And he didn't do the first four songs like I did. I did Lose Yourself. I did, Sing for the Moment. I did all those individual songs before I did my album review. So those are just his top five from the album. And he had Kim on there. I didn't have Kim, so a little bit different there. But the other songs were the same. Man, other thoughts like Under the Influence I thought D12 did an amazing job there. And but with Bitch Please too, it kind of took away from it. Like you guys are saying, like I see everything you guys are saying in the comments. So you guys are talking about Dr. Dre, and he Eminem wrote some of his stuff. I knew that Dr. Dre had ghostwriters, and I knew that Jay-Z wrote a lot of his stuff and Eminem wrote some of his stuff, but on this song, like the fact that Eminem wrote his verses, and there's you guys are saying that there's actual documentation saying that Eminem wrote some of Dr. Dre's verses, that kind of takes away from like his part to me a little bit. Because just Eminem, you know what I mean? Like, but I still really like the song because Dr. Dre is such a big personality, and he delivered it well. He with his voice and the way he raps, it was nice still. So that's why I made my top 10 list. Yeah, and any other questions about this, just leave it down in the comments, man. I'll get to it. So as for how I'm gonna be ranking Eminem and other rappers coming up in the future, so I've created a kind of a list here of all the different things that I see as kind of different attributes that good rappers can have at different levels, right? So the first one up here is creativity. Some that Eminem had a lot of like stuff that you haven't heard before, having aspects of the song, that verses that you haven't heard like said in a certain way before, stuff that kind of hits you and you're like, man, that's cool, that's cool. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by creativity. Creatively writing different things, creatively placing things in the song. That's what I mean by creativity, and Eminem definitely had that off the chain. Yeah, how I'm gonna be doing it. So Eminem is the first segment rapper I'll have, and the next segment, shout out to Wesley Lester. I'll have his name somewhere on here because he recommended Outkast. So I'll get to Outkast next as the next rap group. Well, I'll treat them as like same like a rapper, but they're a rap group. So they're the next rapper that I'll get to. So then I'll compare Eminem and Outkast, and as I keep going segment by segment, I'll compare each rapper to the previous one I've done. And don't worry, like even though I'll be doing Outkast for my next segment, I will still go back to Eminem and do like an Eminem album, an Eminem song as I go through like each next artist. Same thing with Outkast. I'll do an Outkast song here and there as I keep going through to the next artist. So hopefully that made sense. Yeah, you guys will get the hang of it as I keep going. But so back to the different categories of artistry. So lyrics and message are the next one. So what is the artist actually saying? And that's weighted 2 times as well. So yeah, so that's twice as important I think as the other ones I have beneath that. Flow is also 2 times rated, and it is flow and delivery. So that's obviously most of you guys know what that is. Flow is kind of like the way the artist maneuvers around the beat with his lyrics and what he says, and delivery is kind of how the rapper speaks, how he says the words, stuff like that. So that's very important as well, I think. And then beat selection. The reason I have it at 1 instead of 2 is that a lot of times artists, if they flow well, they can make a bad beat. If they flow to the beat, they can make a bad beat sound good. You know what I mean? So I think it's a lot more about your rhyming and stuff like that over the actual beat. Although the beat can sometimes carry a song, and a lot of times it's just, I feel like if you're a good rapper, your lyrics will be what carries you. So I beat at 1. Captivation. So that's like how captivated am I in what you're saying? How important is it for me while I'm listening to your song to pay attention to your lyrics? You know what I mean? Because rapping is rapping, so it's supposed to be like a poetry. You know what I mean? Now it's kind of broadened out where it includes other things. Includes other things like I'll skip down to vibe. So vibe is kind of like a newer thing with rap where it kind of has like a bop and stuff like that. But vibe. So rap is expanded to that, but at its heart, rapping has to do with lyrics and what you're saying. You know what I mean? That's the most important thing. So uh, at least that's what I think. So that's why I have captivation up there as an aspect that will make a rapper better if they do it well. Smoothness is another thing. So how smooth are you at your whole song? I pay attention to this almost more than anything else when I'm listening to a rapper to see how good they are because uh, it's a difference maker. Like some rappers, they input some things and it doesn't sound crisp. It doesn't sound right. Like they'll input a random sound somewhere. Their chorus comes in at a weird time. It's like what you didn't build up to it. So how smooth the overall song is important as well. Uh, Vibe, I already explained. How unique the artist is. So, um, for example, you can't you can't be like a remake of somebody else. Like you can't just be a carbon copy of somebody else. You know how unique your persona is, how different you are with your whole. Because every rapper has their brand. You know what I mean? How unique your brand is. Uh, I think that's also important there. Versatility. So we saw that with Eminem with Haley's song. You know how he's singing there. He sings on a few other places on some of the choruses. He's just a really unique artist too because he adds like Kim is just a totally unexpected song for me. I did not expect that. Like that was crazy. So he adds like a lot of versatility in what he's doing there. So other artists may do it better. Other artists may do it worse. So I'll be ranking the artists I do next just based on what songs I react to, and yeah, and how they compare to Eminem on all these categories. So the next is impact. So like album sales. There's no real way to quantify cultural impact um, besides maybe album sales. So I'll be as of now, I'll be leaning really heavily on sales aspect of it. And for newer rappers, like views and their sales will include all their views on different streaming services and everything like that. So that's how I think that's how I'll get to impact because impact does matter. Like if you're like Eminem says, MC and busy or whatever, you're not gonna have the same level of impact. So that kind of lowers how great you are historically. That's just the way it is. I wish it wasn't, but um, so consistency. So how how consistent you are throughout your works, like how many good songs you have compared to how many bad songs you have. Some artists may be better, some artists may be worse. So that's what I'll be ranking again. And creation. So how much of this did you actually make yourself? Like how much of this work did you actually make? Did you just copy it from somebody else? Did you jack someone's entire like flow, their entire beat, their entire did someone else write it for you? Like, so that's important as well, and how great an artist is. And Eminem, I know on the album he co-made a lot of the beats, although a lot of them he did make from Dr. Dre, as well as a lot of his other songs that I did before the album review. So yeah, so there'll be people that are better than him, some people may be worse than him in that aspect of it. And creation also is how much have you made? So how many albums have you created? How many songs have you made? How many mixtapes? All of that will go into creation. So yeah, and this is and to show you guys how it would be if I had two artists, like as I keep going and adding artists for each reaction segment that I do. Um, so this is like a figment, I just made this up, right? So let's say next person I'm going to do is Outkast. So let's just say I do Outkast, and this is what I came up with. Uh, then the rapper with the uh, lowest score would be the better rapper, um, and he'd be ranked number one, and then out like. And this not real scenario, Outkast would be the number 2 rated rap group, rapper, and Eminem would be the number 1. So yeah, guys. So that's how I'm gonna be ranking rappers. I'm really excited to keep this channel going and getting to new artists. Thank you guys all for commenting, liking, and subscribing. We reached 100 subscribers, which is really exciting. It's been fun. I really enjoyed it. And again, thank you to everybody that's watching. I'm gonna create like a page like on my Twitter account. I have a new Twitter account, by the way, Rapper X1, and I'll create like a poll on there where as I keep going on, like you guys can poll what your favorite, which rapper is better in which category, and I'm setting some other stuff up as well, so you guys can kind of interact. Yes, it's gonna be fun. So until next time.